Hey there folks, hope you're doing well and getting some paint on your minis. Today we're going to go through this giant tome, the Games Workshop Complete Catalog and Hobby Reference from 2005 to 2006. I picked this up at Sword and Brush 2023 a couple weekends back at their Bring and Buy event. It's just full of 90s and 2000s miniatures from Games Workshop, including some Golden Demon pieces, dioramas, stuff like that. So lots of really cool old school nostalgia stuff in this book. We're going to start with Warhammer 40k, and then we're going to move into fantasy, Lord of the Rings, and specialist games in separate videos, because this is probably going to be a bit of a longer one. So grab yourself some Cheetos, grab yourself some water, and let's get into it. All right, so yeah, as I said, I found this book at Sword and Brush 2023 a couple weekends ago, and I just had to pick it up. I got into the hobby when I was, say, 8 years old or so, and that would have been around 1996. So this is kind of the era for me. A lot of this stuff is going to be pretty nostalgic. So yeah, table of contents, whatever. We're going to go through 40k, and then the fantasy stuff, Lord of the Rings, and just some specialist games and the other products that Games Workshop had available at that point in time. So yeah, this is 2005, 2006, but let's be honest, a lot of their models were still very out of date at that point in time. So yeah, how to use a catalog. Cool. Where is this stuff available? You guys should give that number a call. See what happens. Oh man, the old giant. Love that guy. Is that still the current Carnifex? That's kind of funny. Oh man, I love the man-eaters for the ogres. They're so cool. They're all like done up in different ways for like the regions that they're from. So this guy's like a pirate. This guy's like I don't even know. But yeah, I just think they're really cool. And the old farseers. Metal, of course. This is a large book. This is probably mid-90s to like 2005, 2006. And even at that time, Games Workshop had a huge catalog. There's some cool Golden Demon type pieces like this. Brian Hodovec won first place the 2004 Chicago Games Day Golden Demon painting competition with Gorthrax. Very cool. The old Great Unclean one, such a beautiful model. You can even see like all the different parts from these here. Such a cool book. When I was a kid, I used to just be raving for that model. I wanted it so bad. The Lord of Change, the old one. Looks kind of silly today, but it's very cool. Definitely had a big glow up with the new sculpt. Those are so bad. Wow. Demon Prince Blister. Random 1. So you got a random Demon Prince when you bought this? Is that correct? That's terrible. Yeah, because if this was 96, I would have been about 8 years old at that time. So a lot of this stuff I looked at in magazines. The old Troll and Toad magazine I would get. You would it had like all the individual parts, their codes, like under here. You could order up individual bits. But yeah, they had all these cool magazines that just displayed all the different models at that time, and battle reports and how to paint guides. It was yeah, just pour over all of those for hours and hours and hours and hours. Just wishing I had the money for this stuff. Does this look infected? That is amazing. That is so cool. Matt Lewandowski's Nurgle Demon Prince won third place at 2004 Baltimore Games Day Gold Demon Painting Competition. That is very cool looking. Very pretty sweet. Nice big display. So we're just getting into the 40k now. Let's see, what are we gonna start with? Is it gonna be Space Marines or is it gonna be alphabetical? Gonna find out. The whippy sticks. If you've ever been hit by one of those, it hurts. These used to come in the earlier starter boxes so that you'd use that instead of like a measuring tape. They had little notches on them, or I think it was sculpted out on them with the inches marked on there. Old Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines. Sorcerers. See, I don't even remember these sorcerers, so yeah. I got into Warhammer with Fantasy to start. And for a long time, honestly, I started out with, well, my grandfather bought me a blister of High Elf, like a High Elf command pack. That was my first model. It was a High Elf command pack in metal in a blister. They'll probably be in this book. But yeah, my cousin had been into Warhammer, and because of him, I ranted and raved about Warhammer for a while, and my grandfather, I guess, heard about it and bought me a High Elf command pack. So those were the first models I ever had. Just 3 models. I'm not sure I ever even got around to painting those. But I loved them. They were so cool. But my first real army was Orks and Goblins for Fantasy. And I love those guys. I thought they were hilarious as a kid, and I still think they're hilarious as an adult. Chaos Space Marine swab box. These guys were, I feel like these guys were pretty much current until that newer kit that came out. Like, how long ago was that now? 5 years or something? I don't know. My sense of time is distorted. Night Lords. Oh, I'm excited that the new kill team, the Night Lords kill team, is coming out. That's gonna be so cool. But back in the day, if you wanted to play Night Lords, it probably would have cost you an arm and a leg. Just like playing anything non-Cadian for Imperial Guard. Probably lots of metal stuff, I would imagine, if you wanted to play anything other than the basic infantry, I believe. I could be wrong on that as well. Again, some of this stuff I've never actually held in my hands, but I spent many years wishing I could hold them in my hands. The old Chaos Dreadnought, it's so weird. So weird with that long, like, salad fingers arm. Super, super, super weird. But very iconic, too. Very cool. Cool, kind of in quotes. Yeah, the Death Guard Havocs. Very cool. The Defiler. Is there anything now in Warhammer that doesn't have an actual base for it, other than like actual box vehicles like rhinos and predators and stuff like that? Like big creature type machinations like this? Is there anything without a, I don't know. I'm not as deep into 40k as I am into Sigmar, but I do appreciate a lot of 40k and have painted a lot of 40k stuff. That's a very cool conversion. Huh. I'm assuming it's a conversion. It's very, yeah, I've never seen anything like that. The banner's really neat too. That is a cool display as well. So this is a showcase for the Chaos Space Marines. So there's gonna be like a showcase for every army. That's pretty amazing. I'll try to remember to get some timestamps for this video. Man, some cool stuff. I mean, if you're already watching, you're already watching, but I'm gonna try and remember to put some timestamps on there to break this up, maybe by, at least by game, 40k, fantasy, etc., but potentially by faction, depending on how fiddly that gets. Man, that is It's such an ugly face. I'm assuming it's like flayed skin that he's wearing, like a mask. Like, I don't know. Or it's just very, very badly sculpted. I don't know. Infamous. The infamous Asdrubal Vect box with his lady slaves. Oh man, that's so good. I think you had to buy. Did you? Was it all one kit? Because I swear there was something separate you had to buy to make this. I think it was like an upgrade to the Raider. Not sure. Oh, there's a picture of her there. He's very cool. This is kind of pretty funny. These days, I don't know. Witches, they were quite ugly as well, but a lot more elf-like, you can see in their features than they are now. They're a little more alien now. Still elf-like for sure, but you know. Ugh, the Reavers. Were those metal? Just imagine those chains being such a pain in the butt. Okay, the Ravager. Nice. It's like, it doesn't look like that old of a sculpt. Like, it looks pretty comparable to the current one. But maybe that's just me mixing the past and the present together in my mind. The Talos. That's so cool. Is that even a thing anymore? Is the Talos still around? Is it like a Forge World, maybe? Forge World model? You know, I could spend more time reading all this, but this is already probably going to be a fairly long video. We're 85 pages in, and I think we got 600 and something to go. So I hope you guys have some munchies, water, maybe a beer. Maybe a nice cold beer, Canadian beer with extra alcohol in it. 'Cause that's how we do over here. That's cool. I love the old Farseer. I don't know why. Something about all of them. I think there was a pack with like 3 different sculpts or something. My favorite was that one for sure, but it had a different head. I think that's a conversion. So it had like the globe head, I swear. Yeah, that with the mask. That was my favorite Warlock. Yeah, that's very cool. I like all these like little painting things. Like, this is a catalog, but like, it's so much more than that too, at least for someone like me. There's just a lot of little things for hobbyists in here. The striking scorpions, are those still the current ones, which are now obviously being replaced with the it's a Kill Team box, right? The new 2-player box. I mean, they're still pretty iconic, I feel like. And oh man, the warp spiders, they need to glow up so bad. So bad. But even the old Guardians, I think, are pretty fine. Like, they look pretty good, I think. Hands maybe are a little chunky, but they're not that bad. These just look like the current Wraithguard to me. But again, past and present constantly merging in my mind as I get older and older. It's all one big blob. So these, like, they show these as one piece. Or are these all metal? They must be metal, right? These look like they're metal too, the shine in the picture. Yeah, the Wave Serpent. Like, that, is that current? Like, GW does a very good job of upgrading the miniatures over the years, while still maintaining like the look that a lot of these things initially started with. Like, the current Dark Reaper models, they look a lot nicer than this, right? I want to go look them up because I'm doubting myself, but a lot of their stuff, they'll they'll do a new sculpt for, and it retains a lot of the feel of the old sculpts. That like, I feel like the lines start to blur a lot as time goes on. Like if you think about them, it's like you can kind of mix up the old ones and the new ones because they're so close, like aesthetically, maybe not technically in how they are sculpted as far as detail and everything goes, but yeah, they keep it really tight so that that image just kind of passes on throughout the years pretty seamlessly. This Wraith Lord, I had one of those, and oh my god, it sucked. It was all metal. All metal, these giant metal arms that would just break if like you farted near them. It was terrible, just horrible. This is just like showing different color schemes and stuff. Man, that's cool. I like that. I like that gray color scheme there. It's very cool. I don't know why, but it is kind of subdued. That is a very cool looking conversion. That is awesome. Oh, that's very cool too. Man. I wish I could paint like some of these guys. A lot of people talk about like Golden Demon and how back in the day, you know, the level of painters wasn't quite as high as it is now on average. But I mean, like these are fairly high quality, at least as far as like a heavy metal style goes. They look pretty good. Anyways, yes, I know there's a lot more crazy stuff these days for sure, but the old stuff still looks great. I love the old Imperial Guard. Oh yes, Steel Legion. Love the Steel Legion. They're amazing. I had to get me some water. And the Catachans. We need more of those Catachans. We need more. It's all Cadians every day, all day, forever. They used to have casualty models all the time for like different factions and stuff. Those are always fun. Just do interesting little dioramas and such with. Steel Legion. When I was a kid, looking at the catalogs back in the day, I was always just eyeing up those Steel Legion miniatures. They're so iconic, so cool. They're dusters and everything. And the old Ogren, I think they're just super cool. Very, very, like, very characterful. And the Ratlings, they have their own charm, I guess. Catachans, man. Just an army of Schwarzeneggers. Just a whole army of them. The giant old school orc head. Love that. It's like the size of his upper torso. He's just holding it like nothing. Chimera. That looks pretty much like the current one, I feel like. The Rough Riders. I never really understood the Rough Rider thing. Like, I don't know. Like horses on a battlefield with lasers and crap. Tanks. Giant mech things. Just doesn't really make sense to me. They really updated the Sentinel really well. The new one looks like very much like the old one. Very much. And the machine that can shoot tables away. Like this thing has such range, it can easily shoot people on other tables. Or at least back in the day, it did. Just ridiculous. I don't know what it's like these days. It's probably still pretty out there, but man, like look at all, they have like so much character. Like nowadays you get very dynamic, crazy poses for sure, but like some of these just have so much character to them. This guy, it's badass. The showcase, showcasing the guard. Man, these are so cool. Love that Ogren. That's a conversion with the... Yeah, it is. It even shows... Man, that is so cool. It shows how they converted it. All the different parts and the SKU numbers. So you could probably find them in this catalog order them all up from like a Troll and Toad magazine or whatever, and make that. That's really cool. They have them here too. Yeah, Chaos Marauders mixed with the Catachans. Man, there's some pretty cool stuff in here, and there's some pretty creative pieces that people have put together. It's a lot of fun to watch, to look at. I remember that. That was very cool. I like that. The little retinue. Classic. Looking like, what's his name? He's in the Underworld's warband. What the hell's that guy's name? Can't even remember. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. I'd run off and go grab my my Underworld stuff, but we got to keep going here. We got pages, baby. Throwing a Judgment. That was probably a real pain to work with, unless it's might be plastic. I feel like it wasn't though. I feel like it was metal. Tell me in the comments if you know. I'd be curious, because that would be, if that's metal, that would just be absolutely brutal to work with. Absolutely brutal. Grey Knight Terminators. Very cool. They look a lot like the current ones. They might be. Again, these lines are blurring, but I feel like that's a very iconic look in my mind. It just triggers something. Calidus Assassins, very cool. I wonder how many people are still watching this video. We're just hanging out, looking at some old models. How many people actually want to be listening to this? You let me know if you're enjoying this. Let me know. Maybe you're hanging out with this playing in the background, looking over every once in a while when I call out a certain model. Just maybe you're painting. I hope you're painting. You should be painting right now. Absolutely. You should be painting. Yes, The Exorcist. Very cool. So I hope you guys are going to have good holidays coming up. Let me know what you're getting up to for the holidays in the comments. Me personally, my brother will be visiting from across the country. We'll be hanging out with both of my mother and father's sides of the family. My wife, my child, and my doggies will probably be coming with. Man, this is a very cool, very cool little diorama. That's awesome. The light here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Just like it gives like motion to her like jumping down. Where do they even get these sculpts? Because these look like they're larger scale than what would have had back then. Richard Henderson's battle scene in the Emperor's Name won second place at the 2003 UK Games Day Golden Demon painting competition. That's very nice. That's very, very, very cool. Very nice stuff here. I'll be hanging out with my family for a bit, and then New Year's, I have no idea what I'm going to be getting up to. And early January, I'm hoping to meet up with some buddies for a good hobby day. I need to start working on a piece for Golden Demon, like ASAP. So I'm hoping to be working on that over the holidays a little bit, because if I don't start that soon, I'm kind of in trouble. Especially because I'm not quite at the level that most of the people there are at. I'm nowhere near the level a lot of those guys are at, but I want to throw my hat in the ring, just have some fun, hang out, talk with other people about what they painted, what they entered. maybe get some advice on my painting. Yeah, it's just gonna be a good time hanging out with a bunch of other people that like to paint little dudes and little dudettes. Dude, what the hell is that? Tomb spider? Is that conversion? Nightbringer base, Tau gun. What? That's crazy. So this is an alternate model. So they're showing you here, because did it show the other tomb? Yeah, tomb spider. So you could buy it, straight up buy a tomb spider, or you could buy all these other products to make this one. So they even give you a complexity rating. How hard is this conversion? That is so cool. So cool. That's so on the nose, this conversion right here. Necron stuff and Tomb King stuff. Like, it's such a parallel between sci-fi and fantasy and Warhammer, Tomb Kings and Necrons. That's awesome. Commissar Yarsnik. That is amazing. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. The War Boss, Blister, Random 1. So you got the Squig guy or the Axe guy. Well, they have different weapons too. He's got the, was that Combi Flamer type thing? He's got like a Shooter or something. I guess it probably says right there, doesn't it? Shooter armor magazine, Shooter burner. Okay, that was mostly right. Man, I love the old knobs and meg armor. They're super cool. Super, super cool. Need some more water. Gotta love Grots. Gotta love Grots. Sorry, my water cap is very, very loud. Very loud. I don't know if you guys could hear that. If you can, I'm so sorry. The old war track took them forever to update these, and they did all the buggies, right? Is there a current war track? I think one of these they might have like a exact update of. I can't remember. Then they had a bunch of buggies that came out and stuff. The old war track. That's pretty bad. Yeah, buggy. That's a cool buggy. Ooh. Killer can, Random 1. I don't know what that means. Random 1. Are there different? Oh, it's different faceplates, different banners, and it looks like only one set of arms. Killer can, bits, sprue. Some GW did some stuff back in the day. That's for sure. Random. That would suck. To order from like your friendly local store and get the one you don't want. You just gotta keep ordering until you get the right one. Imagine that. Imagine buying your models like magic cards. You just open a pack and you just like, fuck, I'm playing Adeptus Mechanicus. Or whatever. I know they got those random Space Marine boxes, which genius idea, GW. I'm sure they make a ton of money off of those. See people like buying the cases of them or whatever every once in a while. What is this? Epistolary librarian. What is that even? Lexicanum librarians, Codicure librarians. Space Marine librarians come with a Space Marine backpack shown on the command squad in earlier in this section. There's some typos there, as well as the Space Marine character arm sprue shown on this page. The bit codes listed here are for metal bodies with sculpted right arms. Metal bodies. So like a plastic arm, gun arm, or something. chaplains are cool. Blood Angels. So this is back when certain chapters just didn't get their own section. You're just part of the Space Marine bubble, boys. I think there was some codexes, like Black Templars probably had their own codex back in the day, I believe. I could be wrong, but again, a lot of this stuff is from when I was just getting into the hobby, and most of it I never got my hands on or even knew about until way later. Corbulo. I always liked that model. I don't know why. You can still get it, I believe. Yeah. I even like the old Dante too. The Marnius Calgar with Honor Guard. That's super classic. I love those helms too. And the wing face helm. That's so cool. Huh. Space Marine veterans. Man, I love the axes. Why don't they do the axes anymore? The axes are so cool. So you can get Space Marine veterans box of 5. And then you could also get blisters with a random 2. So would you always get a banner guy and one of those guys? 2 backpacks of Space Marine backpack sprue shown earlier in this section. Man, they go like so deep into detail on like what you're getting. Man, it's so cool. So probably like after going through this one time, probably sit on my shelf for like 10 years and I'll take a look at it again. I'll be, oh my God, look at all this. I'll be looking at it when I'm like 80. Talking to my grandkids. I remember when these were the current Space Marines. And then they got rid of them. And everybody cried. I'm sorry, guys. They had to go. They had to go. We just couldn't. We got Primaris now. And they look pretty good. They look pretty good. It had to happen someday. Iron Hands. Very cool. I always like their scheme. And the cool servo axe thing. Yeah, that's cool. Space Marine Scout Squad box. I wonder how long my camera's going to last. Well, let's see. We might have to shoot this in a couple sections. See how long it goes. I am not a rich boy, so my camera will eventually overheat, and I will need to sit in my hands until it is cool as a cucumber again. Space Marine attack bike. Those old bikes. Ugh. They're okay. They're okay. You know, it's hard to go backwards on a lot of things, though. Some of the new stuff is just so much nicer, but some of this old stuff is just very cool. Legion of the Damned Devastators, only available as bits. Like, look at these. These are far cooler than some of the other Space Marines, with their like sculpted skulls and like a full like half body on top of his giant bolter. Heavy bolter. I'm assuming that's a heavy bolter. It looks different than it does now, but things change, man. Land Raider. Land Raider Predator. Crusader. This stuff all looks pretty unchanged to me. It probably has changed, but let's kind of recenter this a little bit here. Okay, guys, I think we're good. Yeah, the Bale Predator. That's cool. I always wondered why they made that like its own box. Like, is it that different other than coming with with different iconography. Like, does it have a different... There was another Bale Predator here, wasn't there? Or another Predator. Let's see, this one and this one. Different weapon options or something? Like, why don't I just give you all of them in one box and then, I don't know, make them buy a Blood Angels upgrade pack, which I'm sure they had. I'm sure that, yeah, here we go. Here's shoulder pads you can buy. It's cool though. They covered a lot more chapters than they do now. That's for sure. Although I'm sure you can get probably all these through Forge World, which is now merged with Games Workshop, isn't it? I believe. Oh, different color schemes. Oh, it even tells you the colors there. Just a little brief overview of the colors they used. That's very cool. Very, very cool. What is this? Oh my god, with the cold one, the old Lizardman cold one. That's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Banis, Iron Hands, Venerable Dreadnought. Wow. What is this? When something becomes legend. What does that say? When Tots? Lots? What does that even say? I don't know. But it's a cool looking model. Like, is that... See, I don't remember this even being a model. Some of the stuff in here, I don't remember ever seeing. So are they like sculpted? Like, could you do that back in the day? Sculpt a model from scratch for Golden Demon? Can you do that now? As long as it fits within like the theming of Warhammer? I don't know. Very cool. Tau. Tau came out in 2001, I want to say. 2001. Could be wrong. 2000? I have no idea. So this is probably all initial release stuff. So I feel like they didn't get a lot for quite a while, but maybe I'm crazy. Because if they did come out like early 2000, that's 20-something years, but some factions have gone longer, let's be real. They probably got updated 10 years. Probably less than that after they came out, right? I don't know. There's a gap period for me. I went to high school, got into girls, and hanging out at the rock shows and all that stuff. And didn't paint so much for quite a while. But probably around college or so, I started getting back into things. And man, there's some cool stuff here. This is the end of, man, that's, yeah, they didn't have much. Like, we went through Tau very quickly. Jeez, yeah, they did not have much. Still very cool though, very unique faction in Warhammer, at least. I mean, as far as sci-fi goes, it's probably not the most unique. Okay, I guess I can't say that. I'm gonna piss off a bunch of Tau players. They're gonna start yelling at me in the comments for saying Tau isn't much of a snowflake. That's current. That is the current Hive Tyrant, isn't it? If not, it looks very much like the current one. They just added wings later. Warriors need a new sculpt so bad. They're like my favorite thing about Tyranids, and I just don't care about Tyranids right now because I'm waiting for new warriors. They're just such a cool unit. There's the big chunky monster dudes. They're like the Terminators of Tyranids, and they've just been ignored. Like, come on, Terminators make money for GW. They sell like crazy. So come on, guys, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Man, we're already at the Tyranids. Did not have much for a while too. They're older models than this. Were pretty ugly. So these look pretty nice considering. Man, that's a very cool display. Very, very cool. Reminds me of like Predator or something mixed with like, got like the Cthulhu kind of. I know that is a thing in Tyranids. I can't remember what it is right now, but it just gives off very much Cthulhu vibes. The tendrils are a lot longer than they usually are. That's awesome. Okay. So that's that. Now that's Warhammer 40k in the bag. We're going to follow this video up with a Warhammer Fantasy video and then a Lord of the Rings and Specialist Games video, because there's a lot more in this book to take a look at. All kinds of cool nostalgic stuff. I know it's a little different than my other videos, but I figure it's that time of year where we do a little bit of reflecting, so why not reflect on some cool, badass, nostalgic miniatures. If you want to make sure you catch the other videos or check out any of my other painting stuff, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. If you don't like it, dislike. All that stuff. Feedback is great and very much appreciated. So until next time, paint today for better tomorrow. Peace out.